Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lori. I wanted to do a video today on the current energies that we are expanding into, tapping into, and embodying, as well as a message from the Arcturian light beings, the Arcturian collective. So as some of you know, if you've been watching my videos, I had a lot of Syrian energy around me in August, and I shared a lot of information from them. And I had a lot of Palladian energy around me in September, and I provided a lot of guidance and messages from the Palladians. And I've been feeling a lot of Arcturian energy coming in the last week or two, and they are going to be with me during the entire month of October, providing a lot of information, guidance, and messages to us, as well as a guided journey at the end of the month. So this current message right now is really provided by the Arcturians. They're coming in right now, and they're going to be with us as we listen to this energy update. This is what they want us to remember and what is happening to a lot of us right now in our human physicality. So what a lot of us are stepping into or becoming more conscious of, becoming a kind of observing, is our multi-dimensionality, our ability to be in many different dimensions at the exact same time, our remembrance that we are light in physicality, literally a light being or a consciousness that exists in a higher dimension within our own physicality, within this physical form, this vessel. And that we are way more powerful and potent than we have been living in past now moments. And so as we begin to ascend, as we begin to acclimate, assimilate, and anchor the light inside of our physical form, we are starting to remember how to be in these higher dimensional spaces and fields. And one of the really important things, messages, pieces that the Arcturians really want us to hold on to and pull forth into every now moment is our ability to choose and create the now. Okay? We've heard this, we've read this, we understand this, we've been trying to be and experience this, right? But they want us to get real conscious as often as we can regarding our ability to create the now moment now, meaning that you have a choice in how you want your now to unravel. You have a choice in how you respond and how you think and how you feel and how you believe. You have a choice in who you are experiencing your nows with. You have a choice in everything that you are now experiencing. Now, that choice can also be, well, it's easier to do this, so that's my choice, right? Or it's more challenging for me to shift out of it right now. That's a choice, right? You are always the co-creator in every now moment. You are co-creating with the aspect of you that you call higher self, the aspect of you that is the I am presence, and the aspect of you that is the light being that is held inside your physical form within the etheric body. Also that spark of divine source or God essence that's inside of you, right? So you're integrating and merging and experiencing all of these different aspects of you. At the same time, you are in a third dimensional physical form. So you are also experiencing yourself as the ego and personality and the mind chatter and all of that. All of this is happening in every single now moment that you're experiencing yourself in. And as you begin to awaken into higher states of consciousness, you begin to remember that you are in control of everything. You being the multi-dimensional aspect of you, which is all of your beingnesses. The higher self, the I am presence, the ego, the higher dimensional light being. They're all playing together. They're all playing their role. And you, as all of it, the you, which is all of it, the multidimensional being that you are, is in charge, okay? Is the one that is choosing what is next. It's the one that is saying, I want to play in that paradigm or not play in that paradigm. We are no longer playing in victimhood. So in every now moment, when you find yourself in a situation or a circumstance that you either consciously or unconsciously chose to be in, okay, nobody forced you into anything. Nobody pushed you into any corner. Everything that you are experiencing in this now was designed and chosen by you, whether you were conscious of it or not, which is why it is so important to get conscious. The more conscious you get, the more you can choose exactly what you want to be, how you want to go about every now. What happens as we start doing this is that we start to get really clear on what is stopping us from moving forward into that which we are choosing to be in. For instance, the more conscious you get, the more you might realize, wow, I really don't want to be in this career or this job any longer, right? I want to create in my next now a different job, a job that has this, a job that has that, right? You're starting to paint the picture. You're starting to draw out what you want the next now to look like in regards to a job, a career. This could be a relationship. This could be a place to live. This could be so many things, right? You start to get conscious, and then you start to create that which you want to experience, that which you want. You're painting the canvas, right? And when you're starting to do this, you will start to recognize what's stopping you. The fears, the beliefs, the thoughts, all of that is going to get really loud because you're becoming more conscious. You're becoming aware. You are now watching as opposed to blindly, unconsciously, and numbingly moving through your life saying, this sucks, I don't want to be in this, I don't want to have this, I wish this wasn't happening to me, why is this happening to me, why am I here, why, right? Why is this happening, why can't I change this, why is nothing, right? We are all starting to move out of that victim mentality. I'm trying to, why is this not working, why me? All of those things, and we are becoming the observer of it all. And as you become the observer, you're watching the blocks that come in that are programmed to stop us from moving into that which you are creating next, a relationship, a job, a home, money, whatever it may be, health, wealth, I don't care, whatever it is, right? You are a sovereign high frequency light being that can have anything in any now moment. It's just a matter of starting to step into and awaken into that. As your multi-dimensionality, you have access to so much more than you remember. And so first and foremost, step one is starting to get aware of that which is blocking you from being multidimensional. And the only way to see what is blocking you is to get real darn clear on it. And how do you do that? You become the observer. You watch. You're the scientist. You're looking at every thought, every belief, every emotion, everything that comes up. As you start to get more and more aware of every now moment and the choice you're making in that now moment and experiencing that now moment. And it can be as simple as when you go about your everyday, right? When you're just walking around in your day, doing whatever it is that you do. How are you choosing to be? And of course, always not judging, right? Never judging that which you are, just observing it. Wow, today I am choosing to be an asshole. Today I am choosing to be loving. Today I am choosing to be kind to people. Today I am going up and down in the roller coaster ride, right? But what they want us to remember, the ARCTURIAN'S, which all of us, I'll go back to that in a second, but what they want us to remember is that we are choosing it. The more aware you become, the more awake you become, the more you are consciously ascending, you are choosing everything that you're experiencing, feeling, being. This is completely separate from that which you are clearing and purging, okay? So that which you are clearing and purging is not a choice. It is the natural process of ascension. So there's a difference between the emotions and traumas that are and pain that is coming up to clear out of the physicality, which just pops up, and that which you are experiencing in your reality in every now moment, right? So I'm speaking of every now moment that you're stepping out and exploring the world with, your reality. How are you playing in that reality, right? How are you engaging in the world? How are you creating your canvas? How are you creating the chapter that you want to live in next? How are you writing that next paragraph? You are choosing. There's nobody doing anything to you. As soon as we start to recognize this all the time, in every now moment, especially when it can get challenging, then you begin to become the creator being that you have designed yourself to be, that we all have the capability of being. You are now, you being the multi-dimensional being that you are driving the car, right? So you've got all of these aspects of you merged together in one physicality, and you're driving the car. And you are choosing where that car is now going. Where am I driving? How do I want to be in that moment as I'm driving? What do I want to experience? So when things come into your life that are not fair, that don't feel good, that you don't like, you in that now moment get to choose how you're going to play in it, because you brought it into your field, because you are the only one creating your reality. You are the only one creating your reality. You access other humans to assist you in creating the reality, because we live in a field of consciousness that holds 6 billion other human beings walking around. So we access those human beings to provide us with the reality we want to experience. But no human being is infiltrating your field to create a reality that you didn't choose. This is extremely challenging to understand and hold when you are not vibrating in the consciousness that can hold it, which is okay. There will be a moment where you will be able to hold that and say, wow, I am actually that magnificent, that powerful, that creative, that even the most horrific things that I'm experiencing right now, apparently I created and designed, and in that moment, I'm now going to choose how I want it to unfold next. Not, I'm a victim, and I'm going to close off, shut down, and get like this. How come this happened? Why did this happen? Because when you do that, you are then giving your power away, and you're not creating the next now moment for yourself, right? So one of the things the Arcturians wanted me to remind you is, sometimes we look at these higher dimensional beings, these ETs, whatever you want to call them, right? Angelic beings, any other ascended master, right? We look at them as if they have capabilities that we don't. We look at them as if they are higher up than we are, so to speak, right? And that's absolutely unequivocally not true. The Arcturians want to remind you right now that held within your physicality, that you have access to in this now moment, is a higher dimensional consciousness, a higher dimensional light being that you are, that could be in even higher consciousness than these Arcturians that are pulling in this information to provide for you right now to remind you of who you are. So everything you need in order to access your ability to be in these higher consciousness and higher dimensional fields is inside of you. These Arcturians are not held in a casing that is third dimensional. They're not, right? So they are remaining within their consciousness, and they are easily able to tap into it because that's all they are. You, however, are a higher dimensional consciousness that's now encased in a very dense physicality, encased in a very dense physical field, trying to remember how to do all of this while remaining within a physical form. And if you've been watching the videos, my videos or anybody else's videos on the energy updates, what you'll start to recognize is, wow, we're taking these baby steps, right? 5 months ago, we were talking about what it means to actually step into a 4D consciousness, right? Then we started recognizing what it means to start to surrender, let go, and have the higher self start to lead us. Right? All these different ways in which we've been slowly baby stepping our way into our multidimensionality. Now we are recognizing that in this now moment, we are able to access all these different aspects of us in the now moment. And in that now moment, we are realizing that we are co-creators. We are creative beings. We are multidimensional beings. And yes, there are restraints or constraints because we're in a dense third dimensional consciousness, but that doesn't take away from the fact that we have access to all of our mental multidimensionality in every now moment, which means that we get to choose. Which means that we're not victims, which means that we can start to remember, peel back the layers, take the veils off, and start to courageously baby step into creating every single now moment. Every single now moment. And we have to have patience with ourselves because of the challenge of remembering and learning how to do this. Right? Because we like things instantaneously, and a lot of times it might not be instantaneous. However, if you are conscious of every now moment, conscious of what you are experiencing, conscious of your reality, and in that now moment, choose to play in a different paradigm, choose to play in a different program, choose to experience yourself differently in that now, meaning you choose a different thought, you choose a different belief, you choose a different emotion, that now moment will shift right then and there. It'll shift right then and there, right? So if you're watching yourself having anxiety, right? Anxiety is the mind, is an overactive mind. It's the mind being put on fast forward, right? And you can't control it, and it feels like you're moving out of, it's like you have no control. You're out of control, and it's not being out of control in an unconscious way. It's like an acutely conscious fact that you are now out of control, and your mind is moving you into a field that you can't stop, right? But this field, these thoughts aren't real, right? So anxiety is just playing in a fast forward field of thoughts that you can't stop and control until you actually step out and into a higher dimensional field, another aspect of you, which is the higher self or I am presence. And you look down and you say, holy cow, look at what's happening. I'm having anxiety. Why are you having anxiety? Because my mind is doing this. It's on fast forward, and it's creating all these thoughts and beliefs about my situation that aren't true. How do you know they're not true? Because they're in your mind. They're not in your now. The thoughts have not created a reality. The anxiety is the mind spinning around all these different thoughts, making you believe that this is the next reality that's coming. But wait a second, I'm a multidimensional human. I have the ability to choose. I have the ability to create, even in this now moment with the anxiety, what I want to believe. What do I want to believe? I want to believe that I'm okay. I want to believe that I'm not going to die, right? I want to believe, and even if you die as a human, you're actually not dying. You're just leaving the physical form. Right? Energy never dies. Your energy, your consciousness never dies. So you can't die other than transporting your consciousness out of physicality. So you're no longer in the physical form, right? But you're always existing. Anxiety makes you believe that you're no longer going to exist, that something's going to happen, you're going to be annihilated, right? It's this annihilation feeling, and it's a horrific feeling, but it's not true. Right? So if you're feeling anxiety, step out for a second and look at yourself experiencing it. Watch yourself experience. Look, observe it. Holy cow. Look at what's happening to me. Look at how my mind is creating a reality that is actually not physically in front of me, but it's so potent and powerful. It's on such a fast forward that it's making me believe that it's going to happen. However, I remember I'm a creator being, I'm a multidimensional being. I have access to all these other parts of me, and I'm going to push the stop button on the mind and say, wait a second, take a breath. What's my reality right now? What's my truth right now? And what do I want to create? I, being the multidimensional human, am going to take control, so to speak, and create what I want next. Do I want to stay in this relationship? Do I not? Do I want to move out of this home? Do I not? Do I want to shift out of this job and go somewhere else, right? And as you are playing in that reality, watch what you think and believe and feel about making those changes, about making those shifts. When you are coming from a higher dimensional field, when you are coming from the higher self, and the I am presence is an even higher aspect of you, but when you are coming from the higher self aspect of you will say, what do you want? Okay, dear one, you can have that with ease and grace. The egoic structure, the personality and the mind aspect of the third dimensional form that you are will say, no, you can't. This is what's going to happen if you do. These are the things that are going to play out. This is what's going to happen. And that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. That may have happened in the past now, but you are shifting frequency. You're shifting into higher states of consciousness. You're recognizing now you're multidimensional. You have access to higher dimensional fields of being, which means that if you want to shift something that's no longer serving you, you are safe to do that, and that which you think is going to happen doesn't have to happen. Why are you choosing to believe that these not so great or positive things will happen if you choose something different? Well, it's happened in the past. Well, this is just what happens. Well, this is how it goes. Analyze those, meaning observe them. Wow, is that actually true? And is that true now? And what do I want to be my truth? What do I want to be my reality? How do I want my canvas to look? What do I want to experience? How do I want to feel about this? This takes a lot of practice, you guys, because it's not easy, and we are not designed as third dimensional human physical forms to be able to do this. We step into this, we expand into this, we open to this, we learn. Remember, we've always been multidimensional. We just stepped into a form that was so dense that we forgot our multidimensionality. And because we have chosen to be in the physical form now, awakening into higher states of consciousness while staying in physical form, we are remembering our multidimensionality. We're remembering that we have the ability to co-create in every now moment what we want. We're remembering all of the programming that has been put onto us in this 3D consciousness. We're remembering that we are playing in an infinite amount of paradigms. We're remembering that we are not victims. So I'll give you a quick story, my own personal experience of what happened the last 2 weeks and how I chose my realities. I moved out of my house because it had massive amounts of mold and it was making me sick. So I started to get sick. 3 days later, I found a place. I gave notice. I moved into that place. Within 3 days, I moved in, and the day I moved in, I realized that that place I moved into wasn't going to work. And it was devastating to me because I had just moved. U-Haul, movers, all of it, money, all of that, right? And I recognized in that now moment within 24 hours, this wasn't going to work for me. So in that now moment, I realized the resonance that was happening was the resonance, which is my energetic field, was saying, you're not going to be able to stay here. The shock of that resonance was debilitating. It was exhausting. It created anxiety, right? So I was observing myself and watching myself have this experience, this human experience. I was trying to fight the resonance. I was trying to fight and make it okay for me to stay in the place that I knew energetically wasn't the right one. It didn't make any sense though. How am I going to move? I just moved here. How am I going to do all this? I don't have the energy to do this. I don't have the money to do this, right? All these things were playing. The thoughts, beliefs, and programs. All these things were coming in saying, Laura, you can't. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. You're not going to be able to do this, right? I was watching it. And then I said to myself, what do I want? Okay, I want to find a new place. I want to find a new place now. Okay, great. Go find a new place. I looked online. I found a new place within 3 days, and I got a new place within 4 days of moving into the first new place, right? I didn't buy into, I don't have the money. I didn't buy into, I don't have the time. I didn't buy into, I can't do this. I didn't buy into, I'm going to have to stay here. I didn't buy into, well, I didn't sign a lease, but well, I signed a contract with this man that I would be here for, at least this amount of time. I didn't buy into any of that, right? I bought into and created the reality of, this doesn't serve me. This resonance, this energetically is not the right fit. Every time I walked into the place, nope. Right? And I opened myself up to flow, the flow state, right? The flow state is, if this isn't working, if I am fighting and pushing myself up against a wall and trying to force myself to stay somewhere that doesn't energetically resonate, I'm going to let go. I'm going to ask myself what I want, and then I'm going to create that reality, right? Which is exactly what I did. And I didn't let money or energy or physical strength, just the ability to do it again. All these things that wanted to kind of, the egoic structure that was like, don't do that. You can't afford it. You don't have time. This looks crazy. You're nuts. Make this work. You can make it work. But all these things, all these beliefs, thoughts, and emotions coming in to block the flow. And the flow was, what do you want, Lori? Well, I don't want to stay here because of this, this, this. Okay, so what do you want, dear one? Well, I would really like a place, and I'd like it sooner than later, and I would like it to look like this, 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 this. Okay, why don't you go look? Okay, I'll go look. Okay, I looked a couple places, didn't find them, and then all of a sudden I found it, and boom, it happened within 24 hours, right? So did I have anxiety? Absolutely. Did I have some of the worst anxiety I've ever had? Yes. Did I observe it? Yes. Did I know that this was my human sort of experience in this 3D consciousness? And did I also know that I was multidimensional at the same time? Yes. Did I observe all of it at the same time? Yes. Was I compassionate with myself? Yes. Was it challenging? Yes. Did I stop at any now moment and force myself into a position that I knew in resonance I didn't want? No. Why? Because I'm a creator being that lives in a multidimensional reality that has access to anything and everything I want. And I know that if I create the reality, that it's going to appear. So I share that story with you because the more aware you can be of what is stopping you from moving into that which you desire is key. It's key. It is absolute key. There's nothing wrong with me staying in that other place, right? And making it work, right? So there's nothing wrong with not having the ability, the wherewithal to really trust and move into that which you really want. There's nothing wrong with that. There will come a time where you will have the wherewithal, the strength, the courage to do that. And until that now moment, you have compassion and love for yourself. You squeeze yourself through those challenging and difficult times. We don't all have the resources to be able to do that which we want to do. However, that's a paradigm that you're believing, right? So I state that and it's like, well, is that really true? Actually, that even isn't true, right? But it's a paradigm and it's a very hard one to break out of, the money paradigm, right? I don't have the money to do these things, right? But we always, as multidimensional beings, have the ability to create the reality we want, and we don't have to worry about the how. I know this is challenging for a lot of people, and I know that there may be a lot of people that are going to say, well, that's just impossible right now, and there's all these reasons that it can't happen, and that's okay. That's okay, right? Just start to observe. All I'm suggesting is the observation of you in the reality and now moment that you're in, and watch and observe how you're being, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, what the beliefs are, right? And are you unconsciously believing that you're somehow a victim to the reality, that you just don't have the ability, that you are stuck, right? Just be aware of that. There are many realities where that may actually be that truth, that you are stuck and that you can't leave yet, and that's okay. Just observe it though, right? Just observe it. Observe your energetic resonance in every now moment. And then start to step into and remember that you're multidimensional, which means that you have the ability to step into a field of existence that doesn't play in the same field that the 3D plays in. Which means that all the rules, all the regulations, all the paradigms, all the programming that we live in, exist in, and play in the 3D field doesn't exist when you start to step into your multidimensionality, expand out into the 4 and 5D fields, and start to access those fields and be in those fields. Because as you know, those fields are there. We can feel them, we can be in them, we can access them by our own physical forms vibrating there, right? Which I said in my last video. So it's not a matter of I can't. It's a matter of how potent the 3D field is around you in that now moment. And there's nothing wrong with the potency of which you are experiencing the 3D consciousness, the 3D field. Your ticket out is awareness, observation, observing you, awareness. How are you thinking, feeling, being? How are you creating? What are you believing in? What are you thinking? And choosing something else that may exist, that absolutely exists, in a 5D field or a 4D field that allows you freedom, that allows you everything you want. Because what we forget when we start to talk about, I want to raise my vibration, I want to be in 5D consciousness, I want all these things. What we forget is that we actually have to courageously choose to be in it. Okay? Which means that when you are confronted, like I was, with a situation that I was confronted in, that is the test of, okay, Lori, you have a choice now to play in 3D consciousness or to step out into a 4th and 5th dimensional consciousness field and move through this now moment from that field. And that takes a huge amount of courage, because that is when you find yourself in flow. And flow is not easy in the beginning because you have nothing to hold on to when you are in flow state. When you're in flow state, you are letting go of any trees, any rocks, anything that is comfortably keeping you held and stable. And you are opening yourself up to the flow of the multidimensional aspect of you, which is always bringing you to the next highest aspect of you, which will feel a bit uncomfortable in the beginning because we are used to the things that are familiar to us. We're used to comforts that are familiar to us, things that keep us feeling safe, which is the same routine over and over again, the same people over and over and over again, the same job over and over and over again, the same home over and over and over again. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I love a stable home. I love stability, right? But when you are no longer resonating with that which has felt stable, we have to allow the uncomfortable instability, which is flow, to take us to the next stable point in which your multidimensional beingness wants you to experience. So the way that this works is that your resonance is going to tell you first, oh shit, this isn't working anymore. The thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are going to come in and tell you all the ways in which you need to stay in that field, in that reality, in that space. You're going to start to remember that you have access to these other dimensional consciousnesses that you are being asked to be in. You're practicing being in. You're going to remember that you, the multidimensional you, has the ability to choose where you're going to go, okay? A new place, a new house, a new relationship, a new job, a new way of being in your physical form, whatever it may be, right? You're going to choose that with intention. And then you, as the egoic aspect of you, is going to merge together with your higher self, I am presence, light being, and source self spark inside of you, all merging together as your multidimensionality. And you're going to jump into that river and flow. Okay, this is what I'm asking. This is what I'm creating. This is what I'm desiring. Let's go. Let's see how this all works. And then you trust and watch how it flows. You trust and watch how you experience the now moment as you're moving through it. And you don't hold on to anything. When I said, okay, I'm going to move, I didn't know when, I didn't know where, I didn't know how, and that could have created even more anxiety. So what I held on to in those moments was, okay, I am moving out of this 3D consciousness or this matrix. I'm going to move the freak out of this matrix because the matrix is what's creating my reality and my anxiety. If I step out of the 3D matrix, I can find myself into the remembrance and the knowingness that there are other aspects of me that are guiding me and moving me, and I don't have to be in control of it. Me being the ego doesn't have to be in control of it. I can merge with all of these different aspects, and I can basically say, okay, higher self, I want you to come in and I want you to direct me and guide me in this now moment into the perfect place for me. And then my ego, personality, mind, and physical body then says, okay, great. I'm going to let the higher self move me, but I'm going to be the one that drives the car. I'm going to be the one looking on Craigslist. I'm going to be the one that calls up the person at the house and says, can I come see it, right? So there's all these aspects of you that are playing in each now moment together, right? It's not like you say to the ego, oh, the ego isn't part of this. No, the ego and personality have to drive the car. The ego and personality have to look on Craigslist. The higher self says, look at this place, go talk to this person, do this, right? This is multidimensionality. They're all playing together. You're not getting rid of the ego. You're not getting rid of the 3D physical form. That physical form has to walk you to your car, has to drive you to these new places to look, right? Has to write the check. The 3D physical form has to do the work to create the check to write, the money to write. So all of these aspects of me are playing in the same now moment. But when I start to allow myself to be multidimensional, what that means is that I'm starting to say, okay, higher self is guiding me. I am presence is holding me connected to all that ever is and was, and I'm safe. I'm going to be safe through this. I am presence is the thing that is the aspect of you that connects you straight to source, straight to the light of all of us, the light that we ever were and ever will be. Right? That is source consciousness. I tap into that. Okay, I'm safe. I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to die. Right? I'm fine. Higher self, I know that you're here. I want you to guide me into what is next. I'm going to let go, and I know this is going to be easy and graceful. That's flow. That's flow state. If the ego was in charge, only the ego and not my multidimensional aspects, but just my ego, the ego would have been forcing, pushing, moving, like just holding onto it so tightly that it would have restricted myself from flowing into what was next, flowing into the place, right? So this is it's about being in the flow with the higher self and I am presence, and yet allowing the ego and the personality to move you through that flow all at the same time. All at the same time. And it's practice. This is practice, you guys. It's not easy. It's not easy because we've never done it before. So we're learning. All of us are consciously ascending, which means that we're consciously learning in every now moment how to do this. Now, that example I gave was an example of the making changes, making shifts in your life, moving out of something that's uncomfortable into something else, right? That's new and unfamiliar. But this can also be looked at as every now moment that you're experiencing your reality when you're going about your day, right? It's the same thing. So meaning that you want to be aware of how you're being, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you want to experience, how you want to be. All of that, all of it. And the more we do this, the more aware we become, the more conscious we become, the more we are stepping into all of these aspects of us, including the light being that we are, that's inside of us, that's integrating, that we are integrating as well into every now moment. Because when you start to integrate all of that, which means that you are which means you are walking around in your physical form, recognizing that you're all these different aspects. Every moment of every now, you are these aspects. And you get to choose which aspect you're tapping into and or feeling all the aspects in every now moment at once, which is powerful, which is a miracle. To be able to feel higher self, I am presence, source consciousness, ego, light being that dropped in, and physical form all at the same time is a miracle. And that's what we are designed to do. That is what ascension is. It's stepping into that aspect of you, which is your multi-dimensionality. And so you have to start to get familiar with, well, what does I am presence feel like? What does higher self feel like? What does it feel like to tap into my light body or my higher, the light being that dropped in? And for each of us, it's very different. So you have to start to play in your own sovereign field. You have to start to trust your own sovereign space. The way I experience my higher self may be different than yours, right? It really depends on how you experience it. This is the next step for us. This is what we're doing next, you guys. This is it. And who knows what's going to come next after this. But this is where we're at now. And again, we're all sort of in different places among this spectrum. But make no mistake, if you're watching this video, this is a message for you now, because this is what's happening for you now. This is a message for you because you're ready to hear it right now. That your multidimensionality is a key component for you to step into right now. How aware can you become of how you play the victim role? There's nothing wrong with that, but are you aware of it? Do you still do it? Are people doing things to you that you think they're doing things to you, but you're just forgetting the fact that you're creating everything in every now moment? Is there an anger around that, a frustration around that, a depression or sadness around that? Why would I choose this? I don't want this. The ego doesn't want it. The ego wouldn't choose it. But there's an aspect of you that has pulled it into your reality in order for you to do something with it, mostly to step into something that is serving you better, moving you always into the next highest aspect of you, asking you to practice your multidimensionality. Now, I could have looked at that experience of moving twice and say, why would I have done that? Why would I have moved into this first place that wasn't right for me if it wasn't right for me? Why? Why did this happen? I don't understand. I didn't do that. What I did was, wow, look at where I'm at. It's not serving me. This is a prime opportunity to practice multidimensionality. That's what I'm going to do. We don't always have to find the whys behind it. Why did this happen? Why would I have done that? We get so stuck, that's ego. We get so stuck in the why. Why did that happen to me? Why would I have chosen that place if it wasn't the right one? You know, if that was if everything's for my highest good, then I should have just chosen the best place from the get-go. That's not what happened. And I'm sure the heck not going to argue with my multidimensionality about why that didn't happen. What I am going to do is say, oh, here's an opportunity. Wow, I moved into this place. Resonance isn't there. Not going to stay. Opportunity for me to step into my multidimensionality. Opportunity for me to start to practice being multidimensional. An opportunity for me to teach it and I'm going to step into it and go. I'm not going to get stuck in, I don't understand. Why would this happen? How can I trust my higher self? If I moved into one place that wasn't right, how can I possibly trust my higher self to take me to the next place? I could play in that paradigm if I wanted to, but I chose not to. Why? Because it's not going to serve me. Why do I want to play in a paradigm that's going to say, well, Lori, you know, your higher self brought you to this one place and that didn't work out for you. So why are you going to be, how do you think you can trust your higher self taking you to the next place? I don't give a shit. Why do I want to play in that paradigm? Why would I choose to play in that? I can absolutely say, well, you're right. You know what? I can't trust my higher self and I don't know, I'm stuck here. I don't know why this would ever come. Now I don't know how I'm going to trust my higher self because my higher self brought me to this place. I could play in that paradigm, but it's a waste of energy. Instead, I found an amazing place that's perfect for me, that's going to give me everything I need in the now moments, and that's all I'm focusing on. Again, that's choice. That's the choice we have. That's the choice I have. What do I want to play in? What do I want to spend my energy on? What do I want to look at and dissect? You have a choice in everything you're playing in. You have a choice into everything that you're diving into and trying to analyze. That's a choice. You have a choice. We are sovereign, free-willed beings. Nobody's doing anything to us, including being infiltrated by entities or darker energies or whatever it is that may be happening. As challenging as that is to hear, you are too much of a powerful creative being to allow for anything to just be happening to you. And the more conscious you become, the more you awaken to who you are and your abilities and as an energetic being, you will embrace this. And you will be so stoked to be able to start to play in that realm, in that reality of, oh my God, this isn't what I want. Okay, what do I want? Oh, what do I want? Oh my God, this is so amazing. How do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? What do I want to believe? Who do I want in my life? What do I want in my life? Right? All of that to say that we are stepping into our multidimensionality more and more. We are learning what that means. We are practicing it. And so the message for you from the ARCTURIAN'S, from myself, from you, from your higher self, is to start to get really aware of your every now moment, of your now, of your reality that you are playing in. That it is always a choice, that you are creating everything, either consciously or unconsciously. Regardless, you're creating it in every now, right now. What do you want to create? You have the ability to tap into other dimensions, other consciousnesses that are outside the 3D matrix, because you are multidimensional. Your higher self and I am presence is beyond this 3D matrix. The light being that's inside your form is beyond the 3D matrix. Your physical form is standing in the 3D matrix. Your ego is still in a 3D matrix. And so because most of our lives, 99% of the way we have been being is based on our physical form and our ego and personality, which is a 3D matrix, we have forgotten. And we are waking up to this remembrance. The ARCTURIAN'S, the Palladians, the Sirians, the Lyrans, the Cassiopeias, the Andromedas, you name any consciousness that exists in a higher frequency, they're no different than the light being that's inside of you. They are you, you are them. Their abilities, their ways of being are you hold inside of you. They're in you. They're in your DNA. They're in your physical form. They're in your etheric body. They're in you. They are you. You're not there's nothing to search for. It's inside of you. It's awakening within you. It's being activated within you. You are remembering. That's what remembrance is all about. Remembrance is starting to increase your consciousness so that you can tap into these higher aspects of you that are in you, that are you. It's your multidimensionality. It's your gift for being in physical form. It's this remembrance. This is why you dropped into physical form, to remember all of this, to be this again in physical form, in a very dense consciousness. This is why so many of us raised our hands, so to speak, and jumped in. Beyond everything else, we jumped in so that we can do this, so that we can feel this and experience this in a dense physicality. So you are the higher consciousness that you are being guided by, your family of light, your star family, whatever you want to call it. You are that. It's in your physical form. It's inside. You just have to have the remembrance, the knowingness, the patience, the love to allow yourself, your physical self, your physicality to show you it, to expand into it, anchor it, open it. And then you start to feel it. You start to resonate. So that's the message. That is the message, you guys. A lot of remembrance, a lot of remembrance that you're doing this. You're doing this. And you're being activated. Every now moment you're being activated, whether you realize it or not. You're being activated, okay? So just know that. Know that it happens naturally. How aware can you get of your resonance, of your energetic field? That's going to give you the proof of how you are shifting. And remember that you are standing in a quantum realm. You're standing in a quantum field, so you have access to these other dimensional fields. You have access to it. You can tap into it. You can be in it. It's innate within you. You know how to do it. Okay? So the Arcturians are going to be with so many of us this month, assisting us through this multi-dimensional portal, right? This ability to start to stand in our multi-dimensionality. It's really exciting. I'm really excited about this, the next couple of weeks, and how it's going to feel, how it's going to play out, how we're going to be. And this is just the beginning, right? This is just the beginning. So if you're feeling called to start to participate and call the Arcturians in, call them in. Have them assist you, right? They will. They'll assist you. They are you. You are them, right? They are just able to, they have just decided to not come into physical form. You decided to come into physical form. So bring them in. Call them into your space. Call them into your field and ask them to assist you into stepping into your multidimensionality. And all that means is giving you signs, right, of you're doing it, showing you that you are accessing the multidimensional aspects of you, allowing you to hear like, oh, do this, do that, feel yourself in this now moment. What are you feeling right now? What are you experiencing? What are you resonating with, right? So they're not necessarily going to activate you into your multidimensionality. They're going to assist you in seeing that you are in your multidimensionality, okay? And one of the things they're going to do with us during my journey, I'm doing a journey with the Arcturians on October 24th, and the link down below to register. I'll put the link below to register. But one of the things they're going to be doing with us is they're going to be showing us how to access our multidimensionality within our physical form. So they're actually not going to necessarily be activating us. They're going to be pinpointing aspects within us, or energy centers within us, vortexes within us, aspects that we hold in us already that we can tap into, bring our awareness into, in order to navigate more easily our multidimensionality. That's what they're going to be showing us. It's almost like they're going to open up a puzzle, and the puzzle is us, and they're going to say, okay, you're going to go here to do this, you're going to go here to do this, you're going to go here to do this. And I have no idea what they're going to show us, because I never know until we go into the journey with them. But that's what they are sharing right now, is that they are basically going to be assisting us in where to go within our own physicality, within our own energetic grid and computer system, in order to more easily and gracefully connect to our multidimensionality, which is merging all of these aspects of us, and walking around in our third dimensional physical field, right? So in every now moment, if we are feeling anxiety, we can say, oh, I remember the Arcturians told me to go into this space within me, and that's going to allow me to move through anxiety, right? So it's not an activation where something's going to turn on. What they want us to realize is we already are on, and everything we need is inside our physical forms. Everything we need is inside of us, you guys. It's inside. And it's just a matter of how do I get there? How do I figure it out? Where do I go inside of me? And that's what they're going to show us. They're going to show us the direction to go, the portals to access, the energetic field or the chakras that are within us that we can access. Because it's already in us. It's already activated. It's already ready to go. We just have to remember how to do it, how to tap in, how to do it. Okay, I love you guys so much. I hope this video was useful in some way. I hope it made sense. I have another video coming that I can't wait to do. I wanna share with you guys how the Earth fell from the 5th dimension to the 3rd dimension, and I really want this. I want to share this video with you because it's a really powerful story, and it is very similar to what we are doing now, except that we're moving from 3 to 5. So it's very similar, except that it took a lot longer. It took millions of years to go from 5D down to 3D. And it's not taking millions of years for us to go 3D to 5D. But it's very similar in the way in which it all happened. So it's fascinating. Anyway, I really want to do that video. I hope to have that be my next video, but I always go with what is being asked of me next to share, but I want to let you guys know that video is coming shortly, and I can't wait to share it with you. And until then, be very gentle with yourselves. Give yourself a hug. Just give your physical form a squeeze. Just a squeeze that you're doing it, that you're okay, that you're navigating this with as much courage as you can possibly muster up, that you're an amazing being of light in physical form, that you agreed to come down here, you agreed to remember all of this, you agreed to have anger and rage through it, and frustration, and wanting to quit, and all of the human experiences and emotions that you're having. That's okay. It's all right. It's part of it. How could you not have those? How could you not have anger and rage and frustration and sadness and depression as you are starting to awaken into what the heck this is all about and what you're doing here, right? So just give yourself so much love as you're navigating this as much as you can. Squeezing yourself meaning giving yourself a hug for doing it. Courageously, every day you get up and you do it. Every day. And you're here to do it, and you will do it. Do it being continue to shift into the next highest frequency inside your physical form. I love you so much. I honor you for whatever it is that your journey looks like right now and in every now moment. And I look forward to the next time we connect. I love you. Bye.